Fair use, fair use.
I'm addicted to the good life. We got away. No need to stay with me. I had enough.
We're gonna listen to some philosophy today. We're gonna keep on playing, and I'm telling you guys that we got so much philosophy to cover, and there's so much that I think that tricks that we've been tricked to believe are tricks are gonna be those tricks that they use in every aspect, including the church. And it has been evident, self-evident. So don't be fooled. Just listen to the music. Listen to the music. And if you don't know the song, I'm going to put it up on the thing so you guys know that who it is, what the song was, and what it means to us as men, some men. You find another similar song that was by a song. It was a group by. It was a song by Pearl Jam. It was called Better Man.
So now what I'm getting into, yeah, nothing can stop me. So I'm addicted to you now.
Fair use, good times, you guys. Fair use, fair use. Good times, you guys. We're gonna play this all the way out.
Realize we got away. No need to say with the
If you ain't dancing, you should be by now. We're gonna ease on into this one. I got stuff to do, tough to talk about to you guys. That's what's up, you guys. That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, I know you guys may or may not know who the great Kevin Samuels was. Some of you guys don't have a clue. Some of you guys are getting the benefits of some of the stuff that we have went through as men. And Kevin Samuels was a dude who was a great guy who came at the right time in the world, I think, and unlocked the code. He unlocked a code that said something to me. I was going through something in life at the time, and sour toxic relationship was over, and it was time to move on and do better things in life. But had to go through almost a year of recovery to get over what I've just been through. Okay, had stuff stolen from me. I mean, it was rough. It was rough. So, but I will, thank the Godfather for His guidance during that time, because I didn't know how to say no to anybody. I didn't know how to say no. You've heard Belle Biv DeVoe say, never trust a big butt and a smile, because it's true. It's true. And if you haven't experienced that, it's it's like a roller coaster, good and bad. But what I want to talk to you guys about today is about preaching. And whether or not you're a religious guy, or whether you care or not, whether there's Baptists and Catholics or whatever, doesn't matter. I want to let you hear the rest of the story as far as I'm concerned. Some people ask me, they're like, well, how could you live like such a degenerate, and then all of a sudden now you're preaching about living righteously? Well, I've been a rebel all my life, been rebellious about virtually everything and anything. And now I'm seeing that for me to be against God is essentially to be against myself. Not that I am God, but to be against God is to be on the losing team. I don't want to be on a losing team. I know some of you guys are into sports, and some of you guys would bet on a certain team winning a Super Bowl, or winning something big like that, because you have that much faith in the talent of those teams. So I'm gonna show you guys what I'm doing. Okay, we just got our last bitch of stickers put on last night. I don't know if you guys can see those. I hope you can, because they are reflective stickers and they're for the kids marching. So, by the way, these I made completely out of carton. Okay, these are completely made out of paper. Look on the inside. Look, check that out. Completely made out of paper. Anyway, I am painting the inside black, and then on the inside, I got to put this little cushion. I got to put that. That's on my board of things to do today. Okay, so if someone said to me, what right do you have, to preach to anybody? Okay, what right do you have to preach to anybody about righteousness? Well, here are my credentials. Here are my credentials. And here's where I started off, and where I fell off, and where I came back. And some would refer to like an AA story. By the way, the 19th, that was like 2 days ago, was my 22nd anniversary without a drink of alcohol. And it may not impress you, but it presses the hell out of me, because I have outlived everybody. I mean, people that I hung out with and drank with and did stuff with have all died. I'm 51 years old now, and I have the body of a 20-something-year-old guy. I don't do steroids at all anymore. That might have helped a lot at the end, because as you get older, it's harder to stay in shape. Period. It's the way it is. God's honest truth. It did help me a lot, because psychologically, the first thing you get when you do that stuff is dopamine. And when you're depressed and want to delete yourself for a long fucking time, something that helps is basically like a crutch. That's only temporary, because it's a two-edged sword, because it'll turn on you. Right, handsome? It'll turn on you. Not like not like a Doberman. This is a good dog. They don't turn on you. Rottweiler might turn on you. Oh man, one of my friend's dogs died in a house fire. So man, he was sad about. I'm bad dying right now. Guys having health problems, trying to recover. Got all fat. He's a world champion. So that's what I'm doing. I'm painting over this carton. And just like our lives, there's a lot of fake shit going on in our lives. This looks like a $400 or $500 fire helmet, right? You know, gold, everything, you know, all the stuff, even with the kids' rank on there, unit, battalion, even got a badge. I'll show you those in a minute. But everything is a facade. There is so much history that plays into this while I'm talking about you guys right now. Because nobody that I know is a saint. And even the churches now have these policies where they do not talk about sin, do not talk about what is right or wrong, and just let people just, you know, go and become a born again virgin and all that bullshit. Listen, the guys that God has called are the ones that swear, the guys that used to be alcoholics, to do all this, doing all this talking. And when people talk to me and say that I should not be saying anything because I had this in my past, dude, that makes me the best witness of all time. Think about that, guys. If I'm the one that did all the lying and did all the womanizing, who is not a better representative of someone to talk to these young guys and say, look, do you really want to go with that hoe? Because if you want to destroy your life, here are the steps I took to single-handedly ruin my shit and make myself fucking bankrupted for 2 fucking years when it should have been no fucking nothing with this chick. And a one night stand into a 2 year fucking nightmare that ended with a kid and ended up in 18 years of fucking child support. I'm going to talk to all you guys about this shit in advance so that I can help them. But not just that, because I'm fucking selfish too, because I lost all that money. Okay. That's one fucking reason that I have every reason in the world to be pissed about. Is because when you're going through shit as a man, no one's here to fucking help you. However, they did have 2 lawyers from the state come and help them during the court session as far as to determine how much child support I'd be paying. Because if they wanted to get combative, that would be the time to do it. And being the simp that I was back then, by the way, that's another lesson to you guys. If you're simping, what's going to happen is that you'll end up unhappy. All right, you're just going to end up unhappy. In the end, you're going to be so hurt, heartbroken, and you'll just be without money, your resources, and all that time you spent sending all those good morning, fucking beautiful messages. I spent all that time sending out all those dumbass messages saying, good morning, beautiful, you know, hey, what's up? I'm not the only one, you guys. Tell me I'm wrong. Am I not the only one who's wasted, you know, every morning taking the time to look that girl's name up, look at the last messages that maybe she didn't read before you went to bed. Maybe she read them and didn't respond. And then she will respond to you in the morning and lie and say something like, oh, I fell asleep. I didn't see your message until now. That's a lie. That's a chick that is talking to other dudes. That's a chick that is getting fucking dick down by Chad and Tyrone. And it ain't you. But we're wasting all this fucking time talking to him, wasting all this time trying to hook up with what we used to believe were women that were agreeable and fun to be around and all that stuff. I'm gonna tell you guys, I love women, dude. People say I'm misogynistic because I tell the truth. And unfortunately, man, I'm just gonna call it for what it is. And it's wickedness. So who am I to speak on wickedness? Who am I to preach about what I see wrong? Now, I'm not Mr. Palmer. If you guys really want some deep graphic content in video form, go watch Mr. Palmer's stuff. If you guys want to see the visual version of what the fuck I'm talking about, as far as the evil shit that's done to men, specifically fathers, and the evil that men do to other men to support or enforce, essentially simping towards people that are doing bad things. First of all, if you're a father that wants to be involved in your kid's life, get legal help. That's the only thing I could tell you. There's a book. It's a dictionary. It's called Black's Law Dictionary. That will help you to navigate the family law court system, because they're not speaking English that you and I understand from Webster's 1774 fucking version. They're reading another version of the English language that's called the Black's Law Dictionary. Okay. A person is not a person in Black's Law Dictionary. You and I are not people. We are not in a country. It is so screwed up, you guys, that if you and I understood these things, we wouldn't even be having these people get away with this stuff they're getting away with right now. And it's unfair to men in general, because we're the one that hold the electric together. We're the ones that handle all the infrastructure. Without us, we're doomed as a planet. It would all fall apart in days. So many people would perish if it was not for the people that defended the Constitution, and that goes on all fronts. And I don't care if you don't like cops. I don't care if you don't like military. I don't care if you don't like paramedics, whatever your deal is. But we were basically called out of, all the people of the world to go and serve our country in one form or fashion or another, because we saw something of injustice or something that was inhumane. Those are the only reasons why you would become a soldier, why you become a fireman, why you become a first responder. Is because you see yourself as a solution to something evil. And right now I got this little puppy dog that's a service dog, really good dog, that has learned how to jump onto furniture. So now I'm going to try and keep the dog quiet while I'm painting this helmet. I have several of these to do. But anyway, not to make this a long video, but they asked me the question, who am I to speak on the topic? Well, the Apostle Paul was a bad sinner that went around persecuting Christians, which is quite a bit. Not quite to the level that is coming for us, but I think if you want to be a rebel, you need to be on the Lord's side. Now is the time to be on God's side, whether you like it or not, whether you are, one of those Holy Ghost filled baptized believers, or you're like the Orthodox version of me. So all I'll have to say is that if you stand for nothing at all, okay, you're going to end up on the side of those who are lawless and are without God. Come here. What the fuck? Hang on a second. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah. Come on, go inside. and my mic was muted the whole time. So anyway, I'm doing a resin paint job on the chicken bus. If you guys want to watch that, I got basically half of it done, and I'm getting the letters. Listen, if you want to help me, donate. Donate $5, and that will buy basically a kid's tuition for the day. That's what it costs per kid per day. It's $5. That's what it costs to do this whole school here, the Academy of Fire Science, where we have volunteer teachers that are out of work, veterans, or they're firefighters that are down here visiting. Anyway, we don't get paid to do this. This is all volunteer. I do this because I love working with resin. This is so cool. But it comes, oh my God, this puppy has got me crazy. You're gonna see this dog in a minute. Peaches, come here. He is well behaved, I'll tell you that. He's a good dog. Doesn't have teeth to tear shit up yet. So we'll see. And he was this big when we found him. Yeah, we rescued him too. So I am basically like the dog finder. If you guys didn't know that, we have a 25,000 person Facebook group here in Mexico, and it's specific to this town. And if your dog is lost, you put the picture on there, and there'll be a lot of people from everywhere in town with keeping an eye out for looking for your dog. Also, we're working on a QR code system that will allow a person to locate their dog by GPS simply by the person who finds the dog scanning the QR code. And that's printed right on the collar. Yeah, we came up with that. This is stuff that they don't do in Mexico. They don't have people, stamping their dogs and putting GPS on their dogs. They just don't do that here. So here's the badges. I wanted to show you how they turned out. Those are pretty nice. Okay. These are firefighter badges. I did these in resin with gold gilding paper, regular paper. Give me that. 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 This dog's crazy. So what do you think of that? Came out nice, right? We got 15 of these that we're going to be issuing soon. I just got to clean up the edges. I got a little bitty, like a fingernail file I'm going to use on these. And we're just going to mow these down a little bit, soften up the corners, the edges, and so on. You see, we put the Mexican flag. You see, if I turn it upside down, it's Irish flag. So there's your Mexican flag. Right there, that's the front, and that's the Bomberos Junior. You see that that's cadet, and their name, and then their badge number. So all beautiful, came out nice, right? These are not heavy. The whole point of this is that I needed to have equipment that doesn't weigh a lot, but it looks authentic. It's to scale for these kids. And some of the stuff is, in fact, usable for certain service calls. So if that was to come up ever, let's hope never. Okay, but for training purposes, not getting into toxic smoke, we had to do all new uniforms. We're going to start using smoke bombs instead of going out to actual fires, just to not have fire on our ass the whole time. So all right, so let me get back to what we were talking about. But I got to grab another helmet. I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing. I have to paint all these again on the bottoms before I put the resin on there. I want to make sure there's no marks or blemishes or any such thing. But I'm going to put the music back on. and let you listen to
Friends,
something.
my name is Dr. Igor. I am clinical oncologist practicing since 2010. Today we are talking about anti-parasitic drugs against cancer. Let's get started. Antiparasitic drugs can really affect cancer cells. We know this. We have a lot of clinical and preclinical data for now. That is not because, as somebody thinks, that all the cancer is because of parasites. No, some cancers are because of parasites, but mostly not. If we take cancer cells in their laboratory, no parasites there, just growing cancer cells. We add antiparasitic drugs, they will be killed. Because these drugs can affect the cells, the living cells. They can affect parasites because these are living organisms consisting of cells. They can kill tumor, which contains of cells also, and they can affect our body, of course, because we also contain of living cells. Can you imagine how difficult it is to develop a new anti-cancer drug? You need to make the theory. You need to develop this drug. You need to study it on cells, on animals. You need to study it on humans to see how it's absorbed, how it's distributed. Is it toxic? What are the contraindications? What are the adverse reactions, etc. And it takes a lot of money and it takes a lot of years, 10 years at least. It is much easier to take some drug that is available and redirect it. See, what if this drug will work against the other diseases? Because there is no single drug or substance that will affect only one point in our body. Everything affects many points. There are many receptors that are similar in different organs. Even, for example, TSH, thyroid stimulating hormones. Thyroid, it stimulates thyroid. No, not only. That was discovered as a thyroid stimulating, but it can stimulate a lot of receptors everywhere, even in bones.
So this is fair use, by the way, you guys. So most people would say that a certified doctor and so on, or an attorney or something like that, could speak on certain subjects and be certified in those areas. I believe it's the state of Washington. I believe it's Washington. Hey, dog, what are you digging? Nothing on a. This dog's been listening to me. Hey, crazy, crazy dog. Anyway, look where we are. Okay. And you'll see that right there, that's metallic paint. That's all I use was just an aluminum metallic paint. And yes, I am going over the metallic paint with a water base. You'd say, don't do that. That's a terrible idea. You don't realize what I'm about to do. Let me show you. You see, after I do this, I put a piece of vinyl on top of this, which, by the way, this is in resin. This portion right here, this layer right here is in resin. Then a piece of vinyl, I guess it's vinyl, I don't know, Nomex or some shit, whatever, goes here, and it's got some graphics that the kid's mom or whatever, or something that somebody in their life wanted on the inside of their helmet, all here on the underside, which I was just going to put some, anything I could find that was made out of something that wasn't flammable underneath here, and then just put some graphics, and then put resin on top of it. Because you could put coins or whatever. Let me just get this dog stop digging in the couch, because there's no coins in the couch, dog. There's no food in the couch. All you're doing is wasting your time, making noise. Look at you. Come here. Come here. Get over here. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Look at this dog. Look at this dog. I'm gonna go pick him up. You can look at this dog. You're making all kinds of noise over there, and then there's amigo sitting here so patiently. You didn't even see him. You're sitting right there. Hi, amigo. Good dog right there. And for the longest time, I was trying to find some family to give him to for service dog or something, and no takers. They didn't want to have a Labrador. So he went to over here to the fire academy. It's all kids right now. So in between classes, in between cycles, because you can't film adults, and when you're doing these kind of classes. But for kids, it's a different story. and kind of stupid rules that if I'm teaching a specific type of class and it's for adults and there's some kind of like intellectual property kind of rules, not laws, saying that you can do the same kind of classes as this fire academy or that fire academy. We're all using the same book. We're all using the same information. It's the IFSTA version 7. It's all the same. And some of us have it memorized. Not a big deal. We learned this shit back in the 90s. Everybody in the military, by the way, almost everybody, is a firefighter. Every single person was trained, especially if you were like in the Navy or something. I know the Navy guys were definitely all trained in firefighting and everything else because they got to stand 6 months on the ship. Everybody is a firefighter. And now this dog is not a firefighter, he is a noise maker. What are you doing? Hey, hey, get over here. That bottle. All right, I'm gonna put this down so I can get this dog settled because he apparently thinks that he is part of the podcast, part of the entertainment part of this. But I needed to paint the whole bottom of this helmet this thick. Hey, stop. Anyway, I like I said to you guys, these are dogs that we rescue, and they make noise. So let me fix this dog's wagon. Look at that, all for the love. Hold on a second. Let me show you what's going on, man. Let me show you. I got this one right here. Look at that dog right there. It's like a little teddy bear. Now, where we find him out in the street, didn't have any teeth. Nobody came looking for him. A lot of people wanted to adopt him, but we don't do that. We rescue people's dogs. We locate people's dogs. We help people find their dogs. What I'm doing right now is painting the bottoms of the fire helmets so that we can put the layer of resin on the bottom side and also put the chin strap. Okay, so let me show you that. If you guys did not know this, I've been doing this for, I guess it's been a couple of weeks now. So this is how the fire helmets turned out. If you guys weren't watching from the beginning, all the kids were making their own helmets. Okay, and I said, just told the parents, is look, just have the kids make them out of paper. Okay, we're gonna use regular cardboard, big egg carton boxes or some shit. So you can see I did a resin on top of it. Okay, and then we did a gold leaf here. And some of the kids wanted to have gold glitter. Okay, but I still got to sand that down because when you overdo it, you can't see the image underneath. So I got to sand that down so you could see there is an eagle underneath there that has like claws like this, but this is hard as a rock. Okay, I just put the stickers on yesterday, so those are still probably drying. I'm gonna probably hit them with the heat gun once. Okay, but this is a beautiful piece of artwork. Okay, the only reason why I had the kids make their own helmets is because they're trophies, basically. And if they went through 1 year of basic training with our fire academy, this right here would be great to hang on the wall when you're all grown up and stuff, you went through a fire academy, 4 years of fire academy, with some gringo German guy, Yugoslavian guy, whatever he is, I don't know. But it has your name on it up here, just like we used to do in the military. And then you would have your name, present, and then this right here, this would go on the wall. You'd always have this for the rest of your life, because even when you become an adult, you're going to see that on the wall at your mom's house or your dad's house and say, I went through fire academy when I was 9 years old. You do what I do what you do in my spare time. Oh my God, no, that's not funny. What is funny is that it's really competitive. I had no idea that in Mexico, that if you do something cool, people are going to copy everything you do. And I think that's fine with me. I don't care. I think it's important that people copy what I do. As a matter of fact, I only came here to support other people. I wasn't here to try and dominate or become the commander of the whole friggin' world. That wasn't my intention. But what was my intention is to do something for public service. There's only a few small people, part of the population, that's even capable of doing that. And most of those people are service members or ex-service members. To be perfectly honest with you, the civilian population, I don't know well enough to be able to qualify anybody. So I'm not one to talk. I don't know. I can't say, yes, oh yeah, definitely the civilians can defend themselves in the event that the military goes home to defend their own home from foreign invaders. Who am I to say that the cops are not going to pull up or not pull up if some shit goes down? So that's why I say give veterans the benefit of the doubt of being deputized, like de facto, not even asking permission. Like you by default can or cannot voluntarily become a deputy. Okay. In the event that you're like little, oh, I don't know, gated community, for example, it becomes a war zone. So what would I say? In advance, before you guys have a fucking World War III, is that you tribe up and you get the most masculine dudes and you get the guys that are untrained training how to defend yourself, how to do basic fucking, I would say first aid, because if you don't know how to use a tourniquet in a fucking war, sorry, you're dead. And a lot of other people will die because of you. And it'll be your fault, because the whole fucking war is your fault anyway. But none of you guys are going to have the option to say, oh, I'm not going to participate. The fuck you aren't. If you have family in the United States and there's a fucking war going on by weird people with guns going through every single neighborhood, you bet your ass you would be on the next plane booked to go to wherever, because they got weapons and they're too pussy ass to fucking use them. And you guys would all be on the rooftops to take care of your own shit. You wouldn't need 911. Because as much as people like to say, oh, they fucking got guns and all this shit, 99% of the people who have guns can't shoot for shit. I know. I've seen the videos. It's like bar fights. Ridiculous. Don't know how to shoot, don't know how to fight, know how to run their fucking mouth. And that's not going to help against a standing fucking army of trained soldiers. So why I say is that veterans are going to be essential, and they probably should be training the shit out. In fact, that's a brilliant business idea for anybody that is a veteran. I would suggest that if you have combat training, you could open up a little combat arms training school and team up with the fucking a firing range, so you're safe and you're insured, and then just invite people to come to the gun range as a club. That way you all get training. That way you do it in a safe environment. That way there's always like bullets available, because they sell those there. And that way, in the event of a fucking shitstorm, you and everybody in your neighborhood will be able to defend themselves. And you won't be dependent on the police, who won't be responding to any emergencies during a war. And I think the military would also do the same. I think the military would probably be a court-martial machine, because in 24 hours you would have 100% of your troops go home to defend their families, because it would be the first time in history that the U.S. has had to defend from the inside. So I am not speculating anything whatsoever. You and I both fucking think the same goddamn way. So why am I in Mexico? Well, I live in a fucking fortress in Mexico. I don't need a bunker. I don't need armed guards. Okay? I don't need to run around with a 9. I don't have to do any of that shit. I live under a whole different level of protection than most people even fucking could dream of. And that is a bold statement, but having been through what I've been through and having had to deal with the people I've had to deal with, it's requirement. It's a requirement now. Now, take a look, you guys. Take a look at that helmet. I painted the bottom black. Okay, I just blacked it out. I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay, now let me show you why I blacked it out. And this, by the way, is water-based acrylic. Here's why. See how that turned out? Take a look at that. And what this is, this material right here, it's all nice and shiny, right? This was a placemat. That right there is a placemat that you would use on a table. It was metallic. It had these floral prints on it. I dusted it with a little bit of just regular kindergarten style. What is that shit? Just regular glitter, like not even like paint automotive level shit. Okay. Then put another layer of clear with some glitter in the clear. Then on the inside, I gold gilded that with copper. And then on the very, very inside, as you can see there, that puddle of in the middle, another image of one of those flowers. And I just put the rest of the remaining resin that was in the bowl in the bottom. Did gild the resin as well. Isn't that cool? Isn't that amazing? If you were a little kid, you'd probably want one of these for sure. But even then, look there. Okay, it's all reflective, and it has. This is, by the way, for a little girl. This is the sister of one of our players. Okay, so this one's almost done. This will be the most done of most. As a matter of fact, while you're sitting here with me, I'm going to show you guys that we got stickers done. You see that? We got the stickers, the reflective stickers that you go on here on the top. So that gives it a more authentic feel. Okay, but this one right here, because it's so small, these stickers are way overscaled. So in order for me to use these, I'd have to cut them down so that they would be scaled. Because I don't do anything that looks like toys or fucking costumes. It needs to be scaled and usable equipment. Even though this is not for a kid that's in any of my classes, it's heavy and it's great for it's doing marching and parades and stuff. That's what this is for. Or for some kid's birthday party. Because then they can just put their party hat on and everybody's in the firefighters already. So it just works. And these are little kids that start at 6 years old all the way up to 18 years old. And we got some kids who used to be in our juvenile program that are now instructors that are 20 years old. So isn't that awesome? Because I mean, I'm not telling you guys this to impress you. I'm telling you this because it impresses the hell out of me that anybody would put their faith into somebody who used to be such a degenerate. And not that I'm saying that to brag that being a degenerate is a good thing. It's just saying that if somebody if anybody really feels like their life is so bad that they got to make changes, then that person's going to change. I mean, it's logical that And sometimes the slogans of AA have helped me a lot, and maybe they came from something else. I don't know. But one of those says that when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of changing, then one will change. Because we're lazy as human beings. And I'll say it again so you guys can write that down if you want. It says that when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of changing, then one will change. And the reason why we have passport bros is because a lot of people have caused us pain. And we don't want to have to deal with people who cause us pain. So why would we stay and hang out and talk to and associate with people who don't respect us? Because that's what it comes down to. If people don't respect you, why be in a place where people don't respect you? You go to where you're treated the best. Do you know if you came to visit my home, everybody in my staff would treat you like a king, and not because I told them to? They would treat you like a king because that's how human beings are supposed to be treated. And many of us have been programmed to believe that the way we've been treated as human beings has been the right way, when all along it's been just deep forms of psychological abuse. Which is why I tell people that when they come to my house, I don't care where you're from. You could be from fucking Mars as far as I'm concerned. Because I don't care about I want to know where you want to go. I want to know what you want to be about. Because some guys come down here just clowning. And they're used to clowning. They're used to being a joke. And nobody takes them seriously where they're from. And they come down here and pretend like they want to be taken seriously, but don't want to do what it takes to be taken seriously. And that is, every morning we do training. And if you're too lazy to get the fuck out of bed, that ain't gonna work. We had a guy here. We had literally a dude set fire to a house that is a block away. And one of the people that was from another country, I'm not gonna say where, was here laying in the bed, was too lazy to get out of bed to get up to go and to assess the fire. Because all you got to do is get up, go look at the address, take a video, send the GPS location to the fire department. And then if there's anything you can do, or if there's somebody inside the building that you can go rescue or get the fuck out without disrupting the fire behavior and causing a fucking worse problem by breaking windows or anything dumb. Okay. All right. So now let me just show you guys what I did here on this one small little jitterbugs helmet. Okay. I had a little bit of extra resin up here up top. Right up top. Now it's okay because, and you see, someone would say, "Oh, that's ruined." No, it's not ruined, because what we do when these are all finished is that we put headgear on the inside of this so that it's nice and smooth on the inside, and you have chin strap. And so, but this essentially basically is a lightweight, real fire helmet that's actually fireproof and can take a beating. Okay, and it was actually made completely out of cardboard. So there is this beautiful thing that I got to do today. So let me just show you, because I'm going to start doing it now, because no one is going to fucking help me. No one is going to help you either. In fact, no one plugs in your microphones for you. No one checks your levels. No one does audio test for you. Nobody. No one is going to fucking help you. You're the only person that's responsible for you anyway. Hey, stop it. Stop. Stop. I'm sorry about that. My eyes are too blind sometimes to see beyond a person's need and I like to help people. And unfortunately, people who know me, like truly know me, know what I do, where I live, what I'm all about. There used to be these guys in the newspaper back in the old days that were called philanthropists. And what these old men would do would be to give money away to, needy families or persons who present some form of a business plan or perhaps some kind of a charitable thing that would be productive, that wouldn't be a waste of money. And what these old men would do is they had a radio show, and sometimes, well, back then they had a newspaper. And so what people would do is they would write letters into the newspaper and say, "Dear Mr. Philanthropy." By the way, this is the first time I ever heard the word philanthropist. I could not dream of people just giving money away to people that are complete strangers. It didn't make any sense to me. Later on in life, it did, because I do it every month. And people who know me know that money means nothing. If it means nothing, it means nothing. And I'm telling you guys that you're worshiping money. And if you worship money that has no value, nothing backing it up, you worship nothing. It's worshiping Post-it notes that right now can buy you cashmere sweaters. That's the only thing that shit can do. Besides buy you a plane ticket, buy you a passport, get you on a plane, and take you to a place that might maybe provide some peace in your life. That's what money can do. Money by itself sits in a bank and is recycled and given to other people while you're being used and abused for your resources and taxes. Money is not that important. That's why I emphasize is that bringing value to other people's lives is really more important. Having connections with other people in life is way more important. That's why I used to get so mad because, listen, let's face it, in Latin America, if you live down here long enough, someone's going to try and steal shit from you. And it's going to fucking piss you off. And you're going to go, what? Why? You thought they were such good people. And they are good people. That's because they know that you can replace your money. They know that you're not going to stay here. They know that you're not coming back. You're not going to stay here and go to court for some stupid thing that costs $50. That's why they feel like they can do it. That's why they cheat. They know that you're not going to be here forever. That's a fact. Some of you guys know that. Some of you guys think that, oh, I'm just going to go get on a plane one way to go to Brazil. You're not going one way to Brazil, first of all. And when you get there, if you don't speak the language, you're not going to last very long. So have these little breakthrough moments where someone tells you the fucking truth and it's not very popular. It's not a very popular opinion to say that the women in other countries are nicer to the men. It's not very popular to say that, you can go to another country and you're allowed to marry somebody who looks different than you. I know it sounds ridiculous, but come on now. It's called spade for what it is. So I'm going to shut it down, but I want you guys to know that today I'm going to be working more on the chicken bus. I'm going to post a picture and it's going to be on YouTube. I'm going to put it on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll put all the links in there if we're not communicating one way or another. But I want you to take a look at it and give it a like because I did it all in resin. Now it sounds ridiculous. Some of you guys, why don't you just paint it? I did. I painted it already. I did a candy paint job. It's just too dark for me, man. I don't like that cherry red or whatever the fuck that cherry color is. So I said, nah, if I can paint cardboard to be as hard as a firefighter's helmet, legit helmet, then I could paint the outside of my 1969 Chevy Ramirez chicken bus, and it'll have that beautiful, brilliant, shiny, just glossy, unbelievable color. Which, by the way, if it gets scratched, I can hit it with my heat gun and fix anything that fucks it up. So there's that. So anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. This has been fun. I hope we get more interaction like this, just like today. I've had the luxury of having, Cali West, Miami. I've had King Sigma here, QB Passport flexing in the house. Jesus, man, good to see you all. Cielo Myers, XL Pros. These are all dudes that, you know what I mean, that have all tuned in because they appreciate things I bring. They understand that I'm not a regular dude. Okay. And I might sound out of it, man. I've been up for almost 24 hours again. And I'm just trying to finish up these last helmets so we can be ready for the 3 big holidays coming up, which is Mother's Day, or like they call it here, what would be, it would, no, it'd be Mother's Day. Yeah, it'd be like Mother's Day. But the first day is Kids Day. The second one is Mother's Day the following month, and then we have the Firefighters Day. So we have 3 parades, and then we have 3 events over here in the park where all the kids, it's like a miniature fair. All the kids are going to be throwing, balloons, throwing darts at the balloons and stuff. All this kid stuff that we used to have at the fair in the 70s and 80s in the States that are too dangerous. Well, I decided, well, I'm going to go ahead and buy those games or rent those games and put them over here in the park and then charge just like any fair for coins. And they'll raise money for these kids' uniforms because each single uniform is about 125 bucks. That comes with a full helmet. That's with the whole shirt, the undershirt, the outer shirt, which is a class B's, the custom made tactical pants, and of course, leather boots that are tactical as well. And so you see, I'm taking this stuff quite seriously. The biggest thing that we got coming up now is trying to find taps. Those are the ones that, remember, the drill instructors had taps on their shoes and they used to march. Well, I'm going to give them to all the kids. Every single kid in the team is going to be able to march, and you'll hear click, clack, click, clack, click, clack, because they're marching with the sound of their heel beat. But now, because I put metal on it, they're going to be ching chong, fully decked out in all new uniform and full scale equipment. I mean, full on badges to scale with their unit number. I mean, look at the detail. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? All resin. And as you can see, I MacGyvered the back, but we did represent right there with the Mexican flag. So they'll be very appreciative of that in the future as well. But you see, we even got our little lion logo in there and everything. So came out great, you guys. I'm so surprised and so happy about how that turned out. Because when I send stuff like this to people and they copy and paste it and they send it off to Fiverr and then they try and turn around and charge me, 50 bucks. What's up, Woody? Man, this is just an all-star cast today. It's great to see you, man. So I was just showing off some of the work that we're doing. This is a resin badge that I made for the Fire Academy for the kids. And I did these yesterday and the day before because it takes a couple days for this resin to dry. But these all were on foil, gold foil, okay, and have been screen printed onto the gold foil. I put them on some corrugated paper, okay, and I curved the paper and then did the resin on the paper so that it would curve up. So when it dried, I put it down it would dry like a Pringles potato chip. So it wouldn't be flat. After it's done with that, we resin them again with some clear resin, and you can see they look so nice. And these are for the kids' uniforms so that when they have their class Bs completely ready, the pants are done, everybody has boots, everybody has a helmet, everybody has a chin strap on their helmet, everybody has a hood. By the way, we're doing all new EPP. That's the personal protection equipment for the kids. And to scale, also using the right material, which by the way is crazy expensive. But like I said, these helmets, if you were to buy a new helmet, you guys can price it on your own. I don't want to make shit up. Okay, but just the fucking helmet alone is almost $3,000. So when I say 15 children with brand new helmets, okay, that are $3,000 each, okay, I am not going to make shit up. I would rather have kids come and make their own helmets, and then I help them make them look authentic. And I don't know if you guys saw this red helmet that I did. Check that out. Check it out. Look at this. Just take a look. Pretty amazing, right? They came out nice. This is really crazy how beautiful these things turned out. Because that's how resin looks, man. I mean, if you get it right. And I just stuck these stickers on, and these are reflective stickers. They took about 2 weeks to print and then send to my house. The guy that printed them himself, he was so pumped up for us because he's the one who does all the reflective letterings for the fire trucks and all the uniforms and all the unit shirts. Okay, so when the other department heard that he was working with us, they were quite furious. They're like, "Why are you working with Beto? Why are you working with him? He's got everybody now." And I'm like, "What is that supposed to mean? I got everybody now." Like I went around recruiting people. No, they came to me. I didn't ask to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not asking people to leave their fire department to come to my fire academy by any means. If you're already retired and you're a foreigner, that's great. But by no means am I telling people to leave their fire departments and come over here. That's ridiculous. For what? We have all the instructors we need for these kids. Okay, they're math teachers or science teachers. That's all I'm interested in. Okay, engineering, science. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? This is an art project. We're basically art teachers. Look at this. Could you dream that up, making this out of cardboard? I mean, look at the shine on this thing. It's so shiny that it looks like it's a mirror. It's reflective. Crazy. I only have one more helmet that I have to paint the inside of. And then I'm going to put these inside of some fabric, like a little cushion. This will go inside the helmet. See that? I put the measurement. So when the kids put the helmet on, you got this pushing down. Okay, but you got the cushion. And then when you got your chin strap here, it's going to be pulling. So you got the cushion up top, and then you got the pull of the chin strap down below. And right now, all I'm doing is testing the measurement from the top of the head to the top of the helmet, so I can determine how much cushion to put in each helmet. And it's different because most of these kids are so small that this is an adult size helmet. And as you can see, there's a whole lot of space there. Don't you just love when I teach school? And this girl stays up at night. If I'm doing something in Germany or something like that, it's like 3 in the morning. And she'll sit up with me and sit there and listen to me talk to nobody, to who's ever on the live feed. Which, by the way, I appreciate all you guys. Woody Man is here. I appreciate you talking about this because this is interesting. Because no one asked me to do this. I thought of it would be a great idea because think about little kids don't need to have expensive equipment to have fun. You know what I'm saying? They can have birthday hats, as far as I'm concerned. But these will go up on the wall. So right here behind me, as you see right here, up here on the wall behind me, like this is where I'm going to put these up on the wall in a line on one board. And then I'm going to have a second board because we're not allowed to have gun racks. So I'm going to put these up instead. What do you think about that? Helmets instead of guns? No, I'm kidding. But that's what I planned on doing. And I only have one more helmet left to do. Gonna paint the bottom of it. Once I figure out what's gonna go on the bottom of these, I'm gonna do another video showing you guys how I put the graphics on the bottom of these helmets. And then I'm gonna do a clear layer of resin on top of that. You got to do this stuff quick because if you waste time, this stuff might stick together or stick to something else, or it might take forever to dry. So you got to do this stuff as quickly together as possible so you don't fuck something up. Because if somebody touches this when it's sticky, all you got now is a fingerprint. You got to fix that. And then sometimes you might actually have to put another layer of resin on if it's still sticky. Kind of dumb, but that's physics, right? So who am I to preach to you about anything? Okay. I am nobody that's going to judge you based upon what you do with your body or your money. In fact, no man should be judging another man based on what they do with their fucking money at all. But yet you're gonna have your close friends that are gonna make money mistakes and they're gonna make relationship mistakes. And are you gonna be that dude that says, bro, do not go with her, dude. She is a 304. I've been around the block. We've been with everybody. It's not a good idea. It's not a good look. And then you allow your dick to do the thinking for you. And then 2 years later, you let a one night stand turn into a fucking 2 year nightmare. So that is what my point is that I'm qualified to talk about these things because I know that there's only a certain percentage of women that do these things to men, but it just so happens that they just happen to be the hottest. They just happen to be the craziest. Some of them happen to think that they're the most educated and the most boss, but really they're the worst. And that's why I emphasize guys having mentors and mentorship and doing something with their physical hands, getting involved with kids, especially if they're your kids. This is a time in the world that you guys have never seen. This is a time where feminism has failed before our own eyes. And we may see boys go back to live with their fathers. And I think that would overjoy me. Although my boy is way too big to come join me and too resentful to get beyond what his mom has told him about me because all the stuff happened before he was even born. I wasn't even in the picture anymore. So there's that. I have every qualification about paternity fraud and also parental alienation and being abused by the court system. So all of those things play a part, help paint a picture to turn out what a shithead I could be to people. So you see what I'm saying? I could be a real shithead to people now that we have seen feminism fail and we have seen people get away with paternity fraud for 18 years of a man's life where he's had his wages garnished, he's lost his driver's license, he's been harassed by the police, he's been shunned by his family, he's been fired by jobs and shunned by his employers because he didn't believe that the kid was his, and after 20 something years find out that that's a fact, it wasn't his kid, but yet he was forced to pay into an unjust system that refused to get a DNA test. And then when he got a DNA test, they refused to enter it as evidence. So you see, they don't give a fuck about us. So that's why I say this is not a time to be racist towards each other at all. This, in fact, I don't understand what race even how has anything to do with any of this now. The shift has gone on to be the LGBTQ community are attacking kids and foreigners invading illegally across the border now are being flown in by U.S. tax dollars, put into hotels and given food to butter them up for an election. And now I'm coming to hear that this sounds like this might be a war between the U.S. citizens and foreigners, and those foreigners might be overtrained in combat, might be trained in combat. When you and I both fucking know that there's like 80% or 90% of the people around you are like 40% body fat and have no training whatsoever and haven't run for 30 seconds since they were fucking 12, much less fighting anyone. You might say with all the gutter bravado you have in the world, oh, I got guns, I got bullets. Yeah, but none of you motherfuckers know how to shoot unless you go to the gun range. And that would make you the anomaly. That would make you the one that the fucking bad guys are going to come looking for because nobody else knows how to fucking shoot. You're on the rooftop and you're fucking dialed in. So you follow what I'm saying. I'm not degrading anybody who doesn't have training or it's out of shape. I'm just stating the obvious. Is that veterans are gonna fucking be the janitors of fucking anarchy. That's what it's gonna be. They're gonna be the janitors, cleanup guys of a burnt civilization. Like when Rome fell, there were guys that all they did was dig giant holes and just shovel bodies into. Because that's what happens in war. Some of you guys are laughing about this. This shit will never happen. You know what? I hope not, by the grace of God, that nothing happens whatsoever in the United States. I hope nothing fucking happens that you guys have to deal with. that leads me into the last part of this, is that who am I to judge? I'm a veteran. And no matter how good or bad of a fucking career I had, no matter how good or bad a career you had, none of us are fucking superheroes. None of us are fucking war heroes. None of us are, special forces. Let's keep it all a buck. If you're not your authentic veteran self, no one gives a shit because you're not in uniform anymore. So why brag about stuff that no one understands to begin with? Using acronyms no one understands so that you can impress people that don't like us anyway. As of late, people have been judging us veterans based on what the government did in these wars, saying, well, it used to be cool to be a veteran because you guys were like the shit. But now, now we look at it like you just killed a bunch of Iraqis that were innocent. And now we don't honor you or appreciate you. No, you cannot do that. You cannot negate or minimize a man's military career. And I don't care if you were in the US military or on the losing end of the fucking Iraqi army. You're still a veteran that went through training and has discipline, a war uniform, and learned to shoot. And that is to say that you're more qualified to do that than 99% of civilians that have never served in the military. So you can't minimize these people's military careers. Another thing is that we signed up to defend the Constitution of the United States. We didn't sign up to defend the illegal ideas of politicians. But under certain laws, we're required to do so. And under certain laws, we were allowed to defend ourselves against those certain laws that were found to be illegal. Or excuse me, those actions that we were found to be illegal. However, at the time, we were so hoodwinked into believing that, Saddam Hussein, he came to fight a fucking war. So you get a bunch of 18-year-old assholes like me that went to go fight a fucking war. And you get dudes from the South, and you get dudes, that want to get the fuck away from their mom and want to have a full-time job, went into the military to do just that. And that's what we did. And we were overtrained in the art of war long before it happened. You would have known that didn't just suddenly happen. Oh, we had this, boom, that happened. Then 9/11 happened, and we go to Afghanistan. And suddenly you realize 2003 that this isn't the same army of people that we were fucking having surrendering, holding them old school camcorders from 1991 shit. We're talking about people that 4D fucking cameras, images, full tactical fucking 511 uniforms. Okay. And just everything new. And trained. And I'm like, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. Since when did fucking Taliban run around in 4D? Where did they get the money for that? And it's just one cover upon another that I don't know the truth about. In fact, nobody knows the truth about that I know. And most of you guys we can copy paste all these dumbass stories all we want, but none of us know what's real. I am beginning to think that we might be in some kind of a fucking fishbowl. You know what I'm saying? With the burned down castles and shit everywhere. Hell, we might be in like the apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic fucking times like Mad Max. And we've been living as barbarians for thousands of years. We're not inventing anything new. I'm inventing everything newer, but now I'm looking back at all of my old drafts and all my own drawings. And some of these drawings, by the way, now I look back, some of them from the 1500s. Just some of the designs that I believe that, wow, how cool. I was so inspired to draw this because in the 90s, they were trying to replace the fire systems for Halon. And there was a guy, his name was Joe Wolf, who was an engineer, and he designed this new sprayer. And just so happens that last year when I met with the Navy, the patent had expired. So I was like, well, now the patent's expired, I can redesign the damn thing and show you guys how to put fires out with 20% of the fucking water that you normally would use. And by using the fire triangle, how to asphyxiate a fire and lower the temperature. And, oh, this is the best part, guys. ventilation systems. Ventilation systems that you no longer need to even go in the house anymore, unless there's a victim that you got to go rescue. I literally am talking about doing this, and what do you know? The Chinese, they're trying to figure shit out. And I'm like 15 moves ahead of these guys. They're doing like the fucking model I did back in 1994. So you can see, I might be a time traveler. And I want to cut this off now because it's time to go get ready for class. It's at 10 o'clock today, you guys. I'm the professor and I'm out, man. Good talking to you.